Good evening, hockey fans, and welcome to tonight's broadcast of the Midwest High School Hockey League game between the Lincoln Stars and your Dubuque Saints. A little bit of an issue with our scoreboard application right now. We're working to get that corrected. Still 4 minutes until the start of the varsity game. Sam's on, or has been on, and has cleaned the ice. These are not the Lincoln Stars varsity players we've got on screen, as far as I know. They are. There's a significant difference between the JV and the varsity teams. Down he goes. Still 3 minutes left here for the start of the varsity game. JV did take the loss for the Saints on a kind of a fluke goal. If you didn't watch our JV broadcast, the sight lines aren't the best here at the Lincoln Icebox. It's an old barn with just a few rows on each side, and we're kind of close to ice action. Doesn't give me a great angle to show it, but nevertheless, we'll do our best here for you. Good news, we've got our scoring app back. Players have taken the ice. Starting at defense, number 26, Dico Ruiz. Number 27, Nolan Kretz. Number 5, Corbin Deutsch. Cade Weiner at forward. Xander Sheehy starting at center. And the man between the pipes will be Colton Stoll. Mini stars will get the announcement. 6-year-old kindergartner, future star. That's a pretty good stop for a 6-year-old. A little more of a skateboard style approach. Stopped in the blue line, that's all we can ask for. Good stop there, too. Randy Robler, there he is. Inside stop skate, that's pretty good. I know you're all secretly hoping they fall down just like I am. Shortman, one of their better players. Evan Perry will be the man between the pipes for the Stars. Song has been sung, buckets are strapped on, it's time to play the game. Spoke to Coach Austin in the hallway in between the JV and varsity game. He said he was pleased with the performance of the JV team. It was just a fluky bounce that caught the goal and went in. He said the boys were mad, which was actually a good sign that they didn't want to lose. Ref gets the nod from both goaltenders. And we're underway. Dubuque wins the faceoff, gets it back to Ruiz. Ruiz plays it ahead, up to Weiner. Weiner takes it into the zone, taken by Lincoln, and they'll bring it back the other way. Far side, off the stick of Sheehy, kicked off to Kretz. He'll send it through the air. Tried to bring it down by Weiner, couldn't quite do it. Lincoln takes it back into their own zone. Long pass up through center ice, goes unconnected for the icing. 30 seconds into the game. We'll get a fresh set of forwards out there for Dubuque. As Kirkenbush, Ruiz, and Henkel filling in for the injured Jackson Heacock. Puck's down, back to Kretz at the defense. He'll send it back around the back of the boards. Kirkenbush sends it out in front, battled. Loose puck, goal! Alex Henkel. I think he pointed towards the west and said, that one was for you, Heacock. So if you're walking at home, Jackson, I'm sure you would have done just as well. So 43 seconds into the game, the Saints jump out to a 1-0 lead. A gritty work by Alex Henkel in front of the net. Puck down, Lincoln controls. Not quite though, as Kirkenbush rushes in, sends a puck through center ice. Henkel can't quite get there. Battle along on the near boards now. It's taken around the back of the net. Defenseman will pause there. Now tries to break it back up the near side. And we got a delayed penalty coming here. Sammy Ruiz looks like he's headed to the bench or the box with a slashing call. Discusses it with the ref and says, I just barely touched him. The ref said, no, you slashed him. So the penalty killers come out. Number 5, Corbin Deutsch. Number 34, Xander Sheehy. They're backed by Beshin and Sukuchov. Puck's down. Lincoln controls. Sheehy battles it. Knocks it back over. Now the defense shot. Deflected out in front. Sheehy sends it the length of the ice. Perry makes the stop. He'll leave it on the near side. Deutsch back there, making life miserable for the Stars as they try and bring it up. They'll reset from the face-off dots. Tips it over there. Now it's Sheehy. Forces an errant pass as Sukuchov picks it up, carries it in, dumps it in. They'll walk around Sheehy to bring it out of the zone. Out to center ice, Lincoln comes. Into the attacking zone they'll go. Shot wide of the net. Lincoln corrals, takes it to the wide side. Now Rockel from the point. Shot through traffic, saved by Stoll. Chipped around. They'll go to the ice. Beshin with a big shot directly towards Sukuchov, who manages to duck out of the way as the puck comes back out to center ice. Played through center ice. Now it's poked loose by Deutsch. He'll take it into the zone. Works it to the faceoff dot. Shot saved by Perry. Carter Kirkenbush comes out. Tries to force the attack as Lincoln carries it up to center ice. Into the high slide area. They'll get a shot off. It's blocked by the defense. Regrouped and forced outside the zone. Lincoln regroups at center ice. Tips it off to the far side where they'll dump it in. Puck back behind the net. Suk back to get it. Plays it around. Out to center. Lincoln picks it up there. They'll carry it back in. Knocked off the puck by Nolan Pierce. Wrapped around the far side. It'll squirt out of the zone. All the way down to the far end. Lincoln will pick it up behind their own net and race it back up the ice. Knocked off the puck by the Lincoln defense. And they'll take it outside the zone. Stolen there by Ruiz. He'll play it ahead to Henkel. Henkel sends it into the zone. Now it's popped back out in front of the Lincoln bench. Seems like a carrier there. Henkel backhands it back into the zone, and he'll chase. Lincoln fires around to the far side. Can't be connected there. Nico Ruiz with the shot. Saved by Perry. And we'll get a whistle. Pokes down. Played back below the goal line. Shot. Oh, that's a goal. Looks like Corbin Deutsch. No, Nolan Kretz is the first to the parade line. So Kretz got a shot from the point that deflected off something, kicked up in the upper right-hand corner past Perry for a goal. In and back out fairly quickly. Sheehy in for the faceoff. Worked off to the far side now. Lincoln sends it through center ice. Kretz does get credit for the assist or the goal. Sheehy with the assist. Loose puck out in front. Lincoln's got it. Thrown back out to center ice. Bryce Beshin's got it there. He'll feed it back at the middle. A little too hot to handle for Sheehy. Beshin back with it now. Up ahead, Weiner's got it. Off his stick too. Lincoln controls and cycles back into their own zone. They'll work it through center ice and dump it in. Wraps around behind the boards. Beshin to pick it up in the far corner. Weiner's there now. Sheehy comes in to help out. Weiner walks away with it. Kick back to Beshin. Beshin will send it across to Suk. Suk plays ahead to Deutsch, who dumps it in. All the way back behind the net. Weiner into pressure. Lincoln circles back. They'll try and work it out the near side. Carlson bounces off the boards, out to center ice. Taken away by Weiner. He'll dump it in. Perry will play it just in front of the goal line. Loose puck out in front. Bouncing puck controlled by Lincoln, and they'll work it off the far side. Play it up. Suk steps up, holds the puck there. I can only see the ref holding the Lincoln player down. I don't think that's legal, but now battle for on the near boards. Lincoln walks away with it. Fired back below the goal line. Netherly battles forward in the corner. Kicks it out. Centering pass. CJ Mueller couldn't quite get with it. And now Lincoln will bring it the other way. Gavin Netherly with a big hit at center ice. Lincoln controls and chips it back to their own defenseman. They'll play it straight up the ice for icing. So the Saints with a 2-0 lead on the goals from Kretz and Henkel. Just 6 minutes into the game. Shots on goal favored Dubuque 6-1. We'll get Sammy Ruiz, fresh out of his 2-minute resting period. In for the faceoff, gets it over to Henkel. Henkel's got it on the boards, tries to center, hits the ref skates. And Lincoln will advance it out of their own zone, chipped it off the bench, into the bench. I believe it hit Mueller's stick. So we'll get the face-off at center ice. Ruiz still out there with Kirkenbush and Henkel. Puck's down, Lincoln controls. Dumped into the zone. Kretz got a piece of it. Now it's Ruiz behind the net. Drops off of Kretz. Kretz plays it around to Henkel. Henkel sends it out to Ruiz. Stolen back by Lincoln. They'll cycle it back. Shot from the slot. Saved by Stoll. Cycled out to the far side. Kirk's got it there. Turns it over to Lincoln. Lincoln now from the blue line. Shot. Deflected. Never made it to the net. Sammy Ruiz dumps off of Kirk. Kirk walks it down the middle. Tries to fight to get to center ice. Run from behind. As Lincoln works it up the near boards. Poked loose by Henkel. It sits on the edge. Now knocked down. They'll force it out to center ice now. Suk's got it there. Plays it across to Beshin. Beshin on the far side. Plays it ahead. Kirk gets just a piece of it. Lincoln controls in the defensive zone. Cade Weiner now knocks it back to Beschen. Beschen feeds it up just out of the reach of Sheehy. Sheehy into the corner to get it. Throws out in front. Straight up in the air. Nobody knows where it is. Beschen blows out a transmission. Throw it into reverse. He goes down. He's back up chasing the play. There he is. Wrapped around in the corner. Beschen's got it there. Plays over to Suk. Suk in the far corner. Up ahead to Weiner. Weiner tries to dance around one. Leaves it for Deutsch. Deutsch knocked off the puck. He sends it into the zone. Weiner pressures. Sent to the far side. Lincoln will go D to D. Now they'll work it up to center ice. Poked loose by Beschen. It's Weiner there. Feathers it ahead to Sheehy, who gets it up to Deutsch. Just out of his reach. Lincoln now on the counterattack. Deutsch gets into Sheehy's skates. Lincoln's back the other way. Kretz tries to get it around one. Puck's knocked loose. Bouncing puck. Weiner battles for it. Sent all the way down to the Lincoln corner. Sheehy now walks in. Bounces off one. Weiner works it back up to the blue line. Lincoln will dump it around back behind the net. Beschen to pick it up in the corner. Sends it up. Deutsch gets a piece of it. Knocks it out to center ice. Sent back in by Lincoln to the far corner. Kretz back over to get it. Works around the back of the net. Sends it up the far side. Steffes is on the ice and he'll collect it there. Works it through center ice. Into the attacking zone on the near boards. Sends it back behind the net. Jensen Hill in. Steffes knocked to the ice. Worked wide. Shot high over the net. Comes up to the near side. Deflected out in front. High over the net. Nika Ruiz picks it up behind the net and he'll charge it up to the front. Jensen Hill knocked off the puck. It's Schwartz. Schwartz sends it towards the net. Saved by Perry. Kicked off the back boards and back into him. Now Lincoln on the near boards. Sent towards the goal. Stolen by the Lincoln defense, and they'll work it back up the boards. Out to center ice they'll come. Work to the far side from the faceoff dot. Shot high and wide of the net as Stoll tries to make a save. Now it's Steffes through center ice. Pestered the whole way. Cuts back. He'll turn the puck over. Lincoln's got it there. Across the red line. Dumps towards the net. Stoll with a nice save. Kicks it to the boards. Play it out. Lincoln's got it. Far side. They'll take it into the zone. Dumped on net. Stoll with the save there. Ben Zick makes an appearance on varsity also. Had a good game with JV. CJ Mueller plays it off the boards. Now it's Zick. Up ahead to Mueller. Mueller carries it into the zone. Throws it towards the net. Perry with a nice save. No one saw. Netherly battles for it on the far corner. Kicked up in the air. Lincoln will pick it up behind their own goal line. Work it around to the near side where CJ Mueller is. Knocks it down to Netherly. That's not Netherly. That's Pierce. 6s and 9s are hard, folks. Into the zone, Lincoln comes. Back behind the net. Ruiz to pick it up there. Now it's Netherly. Sends it in front of his own bench. Lincoln's going to get caught with too many. Yep, too many men. The player jumped off onto the ice, and then as the puck came to him, he could tell he wasn't supposed to be there. Tried to get back up the ice in time. Too late. So number 86, Insko. I am 100% sure I pronounced that wrong. He'll go to the bench. Nope. Dahlberg says, has to be someone that was on the ice. Dahlberg doesn't agree with the call. Players rarely do. Dubuque on the power play now with Sammy Ruiz, Bryce Beschen, Cade Weiner, Kirk, and Deutsch out of the first unit. Beschen's got it at the blue line. Over to Deutsch. Cross-ice pass. Shot. Saved by Perry. Wrapped around to the near boards. Kirk's got it there. Top of the circle. Again, fired towards the net. Loose puck. Saved by Perry. Ruiz has got it behind the net. Feeds it back to Kirk. Kirk sends it to Beschen at the blue line. Beschen back to Kirk from the top of the circle. Shot. Deflected in front. Weiner now on the far side. He'll get it back to Beschen. Beschen sends it towards the middle. Saved by Perry. He'll hold for a whistle. 1:27 left on the power play. 5:28 left in the first period. Saints will leave this unit out here. Ruiz steps in for the faceoff. Lincoln controls, but gets it back to Beschen. Beschen over to Kirk. Kirk from the top of the circle. Shot. Saved by Perry. Loose puck in front. Still bouncing. Lincoln clears it. They'll send it the length of the ice. Stoll over to make the magic start. Gives off to Beschen. Beschen sends it around to Weiner. Weiner spins loose. Kicks up to Ruiz. Just behind Beschen. Loose puck all the way back. Ruiz has got it. Kicks it ahead to Kirk. Kirk walks across the blue line. Down to the corner. Makes a turn. Tries to hit Ruiz coming through. Beschen instead picks it up. Saved by Perry. We'll get a whistle. Second unit jumps on the ice for Dubuque, consisting of Sheehy, Steppas, Ruiz, Sukuchov. Looks like Gavin Netherly will stay out there to complete the 5-man unit. Netherly will take the face-off. Wins it back to Suk. Suk at the blue line. Drops off for Sheehy. Sheehy gives across to... Couldn't tell who that was, but it was a great shot. Loose puck out in front. Oh. That was Nico Ruiz on the far side. Back to Stoll. Stoll makes the save. Kicks it off to Ruiz. Ruiz will circle back behind his own net. Works it up the near side. Takes it all the way into the zone, where he'll turn it over. Lincoln will send it the length of the ice. Stoll's got it there. Plays ahead to Suk. Suk's like, no. I start from behind the net. Plays it ahead to Sheehy. Can't connect. Now it's Suk back behind the net. Lincoln back to full strength with 4 minutes left in the period. Played out of the reach of everyone all the way back to the Lincoln defense. Lincoln's got it there. They'll go D to D. Back D to D. Works it out to center ice. Into the attacking zone. Works it to the high slot. Down low. Fired across the face of the crease. Nobody home. Hegel tries to get it out. Can't quite muster it. Nope. Still in. Sammy Ruiz plays it ahead to Kirk. Kirk sends it in the air. Hegel works it down low. Backhanded shot. Save. No. Kick to the corner. Perry tries to cover it again. Like it's just not letting them do that. Now it's Henkel. Across the blue line. Takes it in. Works it along the near boards. Catches an elbow from a Lincoln player. Worked around to the far corner. Now Lincoln at center ice. Stolen there by Weiner. Battle for. Kirk's got it. With Kretz. Played out to center ice. Weiner there. He'll take it into the attacking zone. Knocked off the puck. Lincoln's got control. They'll work it up the far side in front of the scorer's table. Stolen by Deutsch. Deutsch into the attacking zone. Dropped off for Weiner. Bouncing puck. Loose puck still in the slot. Just at the top of the crease. Weiner's knocked down. Lincoln's got it. They'll play it back out to the blue line. Beschen's there to hold it in. Knocked off the puck down low. Deutsch gets a shot. Kick just wide. We're going to get a checking from behind. Or rough. Or something along those lines. Cross-checking. So Deutsch draws a penalty there. Lincoln will head to the box for 2 minutes. 2 minutes and 11 seconds left in the first period. Shots on goal favor the Saints. 14-4. Deutsch, Ruiz, Weiner, Kirkenbush, and Beschen out for the faceoff. Puck's down. Lincoln controls. High off the boards over Beschen's head. Back to Stoll. Stoll there. Plays it up ahead to Deutsch. Lincoln controls, and they'll send it back behind the net. No. Weiner now. Across the blue line. Takes it wide. High slot shot. Saved by Perry. Kirk's got it there. Walks it to the tops of the circles. Shot. Sounded like a crossbar. We had him widen for this game. Beshin now back in his own defensive zone. Plays ahead to Kirk. Kirk walks it up center ice. Into the attacking zone it goes. High slot. Peels back. Gives off to Beshin. Beshin to Kirk. Over to Cade Weiner. Shot wide. Someone's got to get the puck, boys. It's Lincoln. They'll get it. Set it to length. Stoll comes racing out and plays it to Beshin, who takes it back behind the net. Beshin works up the far side. Weiner and Kirk run into each other. It's a nice check. Stoll drops it off there for Sukuchov, who drops it off for Sheehy. And Lincoln fires it back behind the net. Suk back to get it. Plays it to the corner for Ruiz. Ruiz sends it across to Sheehy. Back over to Steffes. Steffes ahead. Shot by Netherly. Doesn't quite get on net. And Lincoln's got it poked loose by Steffes. Loose puck in the corner. That corner. Back to the point. Suk gives off. Ruiz back to Suk. Shot. Wide of the net. Just off Perry's glove. Lincoln backhands it out. And now they'll carry it out to center ice. 16 seconds left in the period. Stoll back to get it. Almost got messy there. Steffes tries to play it ahead. Lincoln steals. 5 seconds left in the period. Shot deflected by Suk. Played out. And that'll do it for the first period. So after one, we've got a score of 2-0. Shots on goal in favor of Dubuque. 14-4. We'll take a break, clean the ice, get something to drink. See you back in 15 minutes. Here we see Coach Austin and Coach Justin discussing their favorite recipes for chocolate chip cookies. Justin erasing the top secret overtime play. Coach Austin was actually a goalie, so it surprises no one that he is holding the stick like a golf club. Lower hand, lower. No, no, that's why you're a goalie. You see, I have no idea how to use this thing. Put a big paddle on the end, then I'm good. But Saints are back on the ice here. Start of the second period. Forthcoming. Austin decided to leave it to the players to motivate each other for the start of the second period. I'm sure he gave his emotional in between period speech in the locker room. Owen Trouse trying to get some varsity face time there. Looks like we'll get the Sheehy Deutsch Weiner line to start the second period. Bestian and Suk appear to be the defenseman of choice. Sheehy bellies up to the draw. We're underway. Lincoln controls. They'll go D to D. Fires it up the middle. Sheehy with a nice back check. Shot fired 4 feet wide of the net. Lincoln's got it on the far boards. Cade Weiner plays it off the boards. Lincoln controls temporarily. Now Deutsch knocks it out to center ice. Sheehy gets it up to him. Now knocked into the zone by Deutsch. Down to the corner it goes. Lincoln will wrap around the back of the net to the near side. Lincoln will carries it back out to center ice. Shipper bottom. Takes it in. Battle for the near boards. Now sent to center. Bestian kicks it up to Weiner. Weiner will advance it up through center ice. Drop pass at the blue line. Bestian knocks it in. Lincoln's got it there. They'll bounce it out to center. Nolan Kretz fires it back in. Bouncing puck. Controlled by Perry. Wrapped around behind the net. Lincoln's got it there. Cade Weiner walks out. Loose puck squirts over to Henkel. Henkel gets it back to Ruiz at the blue line. Falling down, gets a shot off. Lincoln's defense blocks it. Carries it back out. Now it's Sammy Ruiz. Takes it into the zone. Wide of the net. Fired on net. Saved by Perry. Lincoln will walk it out the far side. We get delayed call here on Dubuque. Tripping. It's like Sammy Ruiz headed back to the bench. Headed back to the box, I'm sorry. Doesn't necessarily agree with the call. I'm not sure I do either, but interference. Call the tripping, change it to interference. 2 minutes is 2 minutes. Saints will send out Kirk and Cade Weiner on the penalty kill. They'll be backed by Nolan Kretz and Bryce Beschen. Kirk in for the faceoff, wins it back to Beschen. Beschen will send it around the back of the net. Weiner tries to get it out. It's knocked back down below the goal line. Lincoln comes in, gets the extra man on the puck. Fires it back to the D. He'll drop it off on the near side. Now we'll go D to D. Back out to the top of the circle. Stolen there by Weiner. And he'll send it to length. Controlled by Perry on the goal line. Leaves it there for his defenseman. Lincoln comes by with a little speed. Referee falls down. Everybody laughs. Shot, saved by Stoll. He'll eat it for a whistle. Referee back to his feet. Everyone's still laughing. Sheehy will jump on the ice, taking Kirk's spot. Deutsch is already out there in place of Weiner. Puck's down. Never mind. Let's do it again. Sheehy in for the faceoff. Puck's down. Lincoln controls along the near boards. Lincoln now back behind the net. Wraps it back up the boards. They'll get it back to the defenseman. Sheehy's got him in a pickle there. Knocks him off the puck. Help comes up. And Lincoln takes it. Fires it to the top of the circle. Shot. Saved by Stoll. Kicked wide. Now to the near boards. Back behind the goal line. They'll walk it. Tries to throw it out in front. Goes through everyone. Back over to the near boards. Lincoln's got it there. Sheehy tries to knock him off the puck. Fires it back up to the defenseman. Held in there by Robler. Sent D to D. Shot. Saved by Stoll. Loose puck out in front. Tried to be cleared by Sheehy. Held in by the defenseman. They'll fire it back down to the goal line. Back to the D. They'll go D to D. Robler's got it there. Top of the circles. Shot. Goal. Robler got a nice shot through traffic. I don't think Stoll got a clear look at it. The Stars capitalize on the power play, cutting the lead in half, 2-1. We'll get Ruiz, Henkel, and Kirkenbush out. Zick and Suk will back him up. Puck's down. Ruiz has got it. Gets over to Henkel. Henkel knocks it over to Suk. Suk dumps it in. Gloved down by the defenseman. And they'll work it back out to center ice. Little fire in the belly of the Saints as the Stars ice it. Ruiz in for the faceoff, wins it forward. Shot, saved by Perry. Knocked high and wide. Lincoln battles forward in the near corner. Now they'll work it out the far side. Up through center ice, they'll chip it into the zone. Down below the goal line, Lincoln controls. Saints have a plethora of men down there. Worked up to Henkel. Henkel's got it now. Carries it out of the zone, up to center ice, feathers it up to Kirk. Kirk works through traffic, back to Henkel. Shot, deflected in front. Lincoln's got it. They'll work it back up through the blue line. Lincoln now through center ice into the attacking zone. Shot, saved by Stoll. He'll hold on for a whistle. Lincoln controls at the D. Back to Kretz. Kretz gets it out to center ice where Weiner picks it up. 2-on-2, Weiner and Kretz now with the defenseman. Lincoln pokes it loose. Weiner takes it back, walks it in from the faceoff dot. It's knocked loose again. Kretz diving to try and keep it in. It squirts just out, and Lincoln picks it up. They'll advance it up, shoots it wide in the net, and squirts to the far boards. Just outside the zone. Deutsch tries to get a piece of it. Kretz has got it now. Back pedals and gives off to Ruiz. Ruiz sends it up to Deutsch. Deutsch has got it on a stick. He's 1-on-4, looking for a little help. Back around behind the net. Deutsch has got it there. Into the corner. Cycles it back. Gives off. Weiner now in the far corner. Kicks it ahead to Sheehy in his skates. Now it's worked back behind the net. Sheehy now down below the goal line. Driven into the corner. Nice spin by Weiner. He's got it behind the net. Bumped off the puck there. Sheehy comes in. He's got it in his feet. Tries to kick it over to Weiner. It's wrapped up the far boards. Lincoln's got it. Taken into the Lincoln zone. Now it's Ruiz down below the goal line. He'll go D-to-D over to Beschen. Beschen plays it ahead to Pierce. Leaves off for Sheehy. Sheehy carries it into the zone. Takes it wide. Circles towards the net. Puck shot blocked by the defenseman. Thrown out in front. Hits the side of the net. Sheehy now gives off to Suk. Puck bounces out to center ice. Suk goes D-to-D over to Beschen. Beschen's got it there. Kicks it up ahead. Now they can't quite hold on to it. Now Suk gives off to Beschen again. Beschen carries it up the far side and dumps it into the zone. Wraps around the back of the net before Perry can get a piece of it. CJ Mueller knocks it back behind the net. Nolan Pierce back there. Battles forward in the corner. Kicks it out to Mueller. Puck knocked loose. Held in. Pierce has got it. High slot. Shot. Blocked in front. Mueller now in the corner. And net is off by about 3 feet. Saints will send out Ruiz, Kirk, and Henkel. Snook and Beschen back on defense. Ruiz loses the faceoff. Lincoln controls, plays it around behind the net. Now it's worked up the near side. Robler through center ice. Into the attacking zone with some speed. Cuts at the blue line, or at the faceoff dots. Lincoln controls on the far boards. Bouncing puck in the slot. Work down to the near corner. Big hit there. Shipped over Kirkenbush back to Robler. Kirk knocks it down. He'll bring it the other way. 2-on-1. Robler tries to take it back. Kirk's got it. Tries to pass it over to Ruiz. Loose puck in front. Wrapped around to the far side. Now it's kicked back to Beschen at the blue line. He'll dump it back in behind the net. Wrapped around to the near corner. Lincoln's got it there. Bouncing puck knocked down by Suk. They'll try and work it to center. Lincoln counters, and they'll bring it out to center ice. Feathered back. Lincoln's got it there. Lincoln D overskates the puck. They'll play it up ahead. Dumped it into the zone. Stoll gets a piece of it. Leaves it behind the net for Beschen. Beschen plays it ahead to... I'm not sure who that was. Ruiz. Beschen now back behind the net. Works it out the near side. Long cross-ice pass up to Deutsch. Deutsch across the blue line. Loses in his skate. Lincoln counters. Comes the other way. They'll wrap it around the back of the net. Nico Ruiz over to pick it up. Kicks ahead. Cade Weiner's got it. Plays it ahead to Deutsch. Saints got caught. Too many men on the ice. They're going to try and get Ben Zick to serve the penalty. Ben Zick was not one of the players on the ice. But the refs didn't catch that, so Corbin Deutsch and Sammy Ruiz will come out for the penalty kill. Lincoln's got it. They'll go D-to-D. Robler now, top of the circle. Shot. Saved by Stoll in front of the net. We'll get a whistle. 7 seconds off that penalty. Ruiz in for the faceoff. Lincoln controls and gets it back to their D. Robler's got it there. Deutsch with the steal. Tries to advance it up the ice. Taken back by Lincoln. They've got it. Plays it off to the far side. Cross ice pass into center ice. They'll drag it into their zone. Mathias with a shot to the corner. Picked up by Lincoln. Fed down to the corner. Passion throws it up to Deutsch. Deutsch backhands it up to Ruiz. Ruiz brings it in. Top of the circle. Shot. Saved by Perry. Drop there. Lincoln will bring it around to the near side. Now cross ice pass through center ice. Up to the blue line. Shot. Saved by Stoll. .112 left on the too many men panel. Sheehy and Kirk out there. Beshin and Suk. Lincoln controls. They've got it at the blue line. Cross ice pass, top of the blue line. Now fed down into the corner. Suk battles for it. There. With 3 Lincoln players. Kirk in to help out a little bit. Puck squirts out to Beshin. Beshin fires at the length of the ice. Perry back to get it behind his own net. He'll play it around the near side to Sheehy. Sheehy tries to send it towards the net. Now he'll backhand it in. Perry with the save. Cross ice pass. Lincoln sends it over. They'll advance it up through neutral ice. Into the attacking zone. Stolen by Sheehy. He knocks it out to center ice there. Battle for it in front of the Lincoln bench. Now squirts up. Kirk's got it. In his skates. With a Lincoln player on his back, but he had it. Lincoln plays it up. Takes it out to center ice. It comes. It's Ruiz. Long pass over to Pierce. Knocked loose. Lincoln will control. Kerfuffle in front of the score table. Back to Kretz. Kretz dumps it in. Pierce is still offsides. Now Lincoln will play it back out to center ice. Kretz brings it in. Ridden hard into the boards. Lincoln wraps it around to the near corner. Played back to center ice. Ruiz sends it in. Back behind the net it goes. Knocked off the puck there. Lincoln's got it now, out to center. Cameron not cooperating with anyone. Back out to center it comes. Lincoln's got it there. They'll go D to D. High stick there for Dubuque. Pick it up, and that'll go the length. Lincoln's, the ref says no, it wasn't a high stick. I think there was a touch in between when the Dubuque hit it with the high stick and then picked it back up. So, face-off will come to center ice. Sammy Ruiz in for the face-off. Flanked by Henkel and it was Suk, but that's because Kirk was back on defense. Diving save by Sukuchov. It's played up the near boards, out of the zone. Henkel presses Lincoln. Knocks it into the zone. Now it's Sammy Ruiz all the way down below the goal line, pressing it. Knocks it loose. Lincoln tries to bring it up the near boards. Henkel knocks it back down below the goal line. Ruiz in there to battle for it. Wrapped around to the far side. Sukuchov holds it in. Kirk picks it up there. Walks around one. Back behind the net he goes. Henkel sends it out in front. Nobody home. Lincoln plays it off the board, but Beshin knocks it down. And Lincoln will clear out to center ice. Sukuchov has it there. Long cross ice pass to no one. Robler over there to pick it up. He'll send it back up through center ice. They'll chip it around Beshin. A little bit of a foot race down to the faceoff dots. Works around one. Down to the goal line, sent out in front. Kick just wide of the net. Lincoln knocks it back down the boards to the corner. Big hit by Kretz. Lincoln now tries to walk out of the corner with it. Xander Sheehy picks it up there in the near boards. Work down. It's banged out to center ice by Lincoln. Shot, saved by Stoll. Kick to the corner. Played around the back of the net, over to Kretz. Kretz sends it back. Mullenkamp back to get it. Plays ahead to Weiner. Back behind the net to Kretz. Kretz sends it around to Mullenkamp. Mullenkamp tries to play it off the boards. Lincoln controls. Shot, high and wide. Wrapped around. Deutsch has got it in the near boards. Kicks it out to center ice. Loose puck there. Lincoln with a long pass. Chip just outside the blue line to avoid the icing. Sheehy with a big hit in the corner. Back out to the blue line. Lincoln has it still in there. Loose knock loose. Now out in front. Loose puck. Tipped away by Kretz. Long shift here for the Dubuque players. Sheehy gets it out of the zone. Lincoln collects it at center ice. He'll jump off and Netherly jumps on. Some fresh legs now on for Dubuque. They're a little more cautious after that too many men call. Set the length. Kretz go back and pick it up. Cycles it back to the corner where Lincoln waits for it. Sammy plays it up to Alex. Alex ahead to Cade. Cade fires it in. Off the defenseman's shin. Into the corner it goes, wrapped around behind the net. Squirts over to the near corner as Lincoln tries to work it up the boards. Fired on net by Beshin. Redirected in front by Ruiz. It's battle for in the far corner. They chip it around Suk. Beshin back. Lincoln player shot, saved by Stoll. Kicks off to the corner. He tries to walk it up the near boards. Runs over Alex Henkel. Not an easy task. He's a big boy. Beshin now battles for it. Puck knocked loose. Henkel's got it there. Across the red line, dumps it in. Perry with the save, and he'll hold on for a whistle. 1 minute, 12 seconds left in the second period. Shots on goal favoring the Saints. 20-14. We'll get Weiner, Sheehy, and Deutsch back with Ruiz and Zick. Sheehy in for the faceoff. Lincoln controls. Sends it the length of the ice. We got a high stick. High stick waved off. Kicked up to Sheehy at the blue line. Chips off for Deutsch. Deutsch through center ice. He'll backhand it in behind the net. Lincoln tries to work it out. Weiner cuts him off. Now they get it out to center ice. Lincoln in the zone. Shot just wide of Stoll. Ruiz back to get it. Sends it through the ice all the way the length for an icing. 35 seconds left in the period. Kirk, Ruiz, Suk, and Beshin jump to their feet. Henkel's going to stay there, and we're going to get Cade Weiner instead. So a little bit of a mock power play with 35 seconds left. Face off down. Dubuque plays it back behind their own net. Beshin back to get it. Big elbow attempt. Lincoln now sends it out in front. Bouncing puck. The ref calls no goal. And there's a pushing match. And Sammy Ruiz is going to need a punch card for that penalty box tonight. As this is his third appearance in the box. Maybe Amy Sukuchov is handing candy out over there or something. Amy, stop being nice. 2 minutes roughing. 2 minutes roughing. So we'll get offsetting penalties now for the last 20 seconds of the period. And we'll get Sheehy, Deutsch, Weiner, Peshin, and Sukuchov out to finish out the period, hopefully. So Sheehy steps in for the draw. Puck's down. Lincoln controls back to the D. Shot saved by Stoll. Kick to the corner. That's on the near boards. Cade Weiner has it. Works it up. Cross ice pass to Deutsch. Deutsch with the step. From the face-off dot shot. Goal by Corbin Deutsch. Nice feed ahead up by Cade Weiner. Deutsch took it wide, put it on the back on his backhand, and hit the top corner. So that's how you go into the period with a good feeling. Deutsch extends the 2-goal lead. 7.4 seconds left in the second period. Shots on goal favored Dubuque, 21-15. Sheehy in for the faceoff again. Deutsch on a tear. He's got it in the corner. Throws out in front to Cade Weiner, who didn't quite get enough mustard on that hot dog to put in the net. But after 2 periods here in Lincoln, we've got Saints 3, Lincoln 1. We'll take a break, examine the ice. See you back here in 15 minutes. Just about underway here for the third and hopefully final period. Sammy Ruiz heads back to the penalty box for Hillville shame. Sheehy takes his spot on the top line with Henkel and Kirkenbush. Dubuque wins the faceoff, chips it into the zone. Cross ice pass out of the range of. Lost my tongue there for a second. Beshan's got it back below the goal line, plays it ahead to Kirk. Kirk's got it on the far boards, works it out to center ice, sends it ahead, just out of the reach of Sheehy. I'm going to call icing on that. Seems like a stretch. But hey, who am I to argue with a zebra? Sheehy's still out there for the faceoff. Dubuque controls. High off the glass. Kirk down the other way. He's got it across the blue line. Shot. Wide of Perry. Picked up by Henkel. Feeds it down to the corner to Kirk, just off his stick. Lincoln forces up the far boards. Out to center ice they come. Tries to walk around with Suk, who puts a nice check on him. Walks it into the slot. Loose puck. Sheehy kicks it up the boards to Kirk. Kirk sends it out to center ice. Picked up by Henkel. Sent through the middle. Defense is back to get it for Lincoln. Played all the way down. Sheehy now on the blue line. D to D over to Kirk. I'm sorry, Kretz. Kretz dumps it in on Perry. Perry makes the save. Sends it off to the corner. Deutsch is in for it now. Play it out to center ice. Knocked back below the Lincoln goal line. Deutsch just outside the blue line will clear the zone. Lincoln has a second to try and regroup. They'll play it back to the D. Battled up the far boards. Back to Ruiz. Lincoln now, D to D in their own zone. Sent up through center ice. Tip there. All the way down below the goal line. Kretz back to get it. Overskates it, but Ruiz has got it. Plays it to the corner when Netherly picks it up. Sends it out to Deutsch. Lincoln shot deflected off to the corner. Big hit there on Weiner. Bigger hit there from Deutsch. Lots of hits going on. Now it's Gavin Netherly bringing it up in front of the bench. Gets it across the red line, dumps it in, goes for the change. Perry struggles to find it behind the net, leaves it there now. Long pass up to center ice by Lincoln. Pierce drops it off for Beshan, gets it back. Pierce now across the blue line, walks to the top of the circles, centers the pass, jumps over the stick of CJ Mueller, who will cycle back down. Schwartz tries to feed it in. Suk gives off to Beshan. Beshan's got it on the near boards. Walks it out to center ice. Across the blue line it goes. Taken away from him, and Lincoln will counter back through center. Down to the corner it goes. Suk to get it there, plays it ahead to Pierce. Pierce sends it all the way out to center ice where Lincoln controls. They'll work it up the far boards. Suk's got it now in his own slot. Drops off for Beshan. Beshan walks it behind the net. Cycles back to Suk. In the corner. Walked around the boards. Beshan sends it out to center ice. CJ Mueller gets a piece of it. Hops it up in the air. Now it's Pierce to knock it into the corner. Works back behind the net. All alone. Lincoln now working it up the boards. Taken away by Kirk. Sent ahead for Sheehy. Lincoln controls back behind the net. They'll go D to D. Into the corner. Pipped out. Gavin Perry makes a save for a faceoff. Sammy Ruiz is getting reprieve from his time in the box along with his cohort. With 3 penalties on the day, Sammy might be done. 4 penalties get you an automatic game suspension, so it's better to set a period than set a game. Lincoln controls. Out to center ice. Ruiz blows the tire below the net. Carries it out. Stolen in front. Shot saved by Stoll. Nobody saw that because it looked like the puck was going to advance. Stoll made a nice save. I just wanted to. Puck down. Fired on net. Saved by Stoll. Sheehy in for the faceoff again. Lincoln controls. Back to the D. He'll dump it down to the corner. All the way to the far corner. Wrapped around to the point. Blocked out in front. Suk picks it up. Tries to play it up to Henkel, but battled with a couple Lincoln players there. Now they've knocked it away. Backhanded out of the zone, out to center ice. Kirk now leads the attack. Knocks the man off the puck. Battles for it on the near boards. Henkel down there as well. Squirts out. Kretz grabs it and fires it towards the net. Wrapped around to the near corner. Almost got turnbuckled there. Beshik now on the far side. Plays it behind the net to Kretz. Kretz is pinned into the boards as they try and work it up the near side. Henkel knocked off it. Sheehy takes a cross check to the back. Kretz dumps the man down. Beshik fires it up to Henkel. Chips it up to Sheehy. Sheehy through center ice. Cuts across into the middle. Shot saved by Perry straight up into the air. Now it's worked all the way back out to center. Kretz has got it there. Dumps it into the zone. Lincoln counters. They'll bring it across the blue line. Shot deflected. Loose puck. Out in front. Cleared out by Corbin Deutsch. Now we got Cade Weiner on the breakaway. Deutsch trailing him. Shot saved by Perry. Big hit there in the corner. Loose puck. Weiner's got it. Circles. Shot saved by Perry. Loose puck in the slot. Lincoln's got it, and they'll bring it out to center ice. Works around Kretz. Back check by Weiner. No call. Now it's Deutsch. High-paced back-and-forth game going on here. Deutsch will wrap it around the boards. Hits something behind and kicks back out. Weiner now picks it up on the near boards. Works it down to the corner. Below the goal line it goes. Netherly drives his man into the boards. Back behind the net, the puck goes again. Kicked out to center. Suk plays it ahead. Weiner dumps it in. He'll go for a change. Nolan Pierce, full head of steam. Gets his puck chipped around him. Played off to the near side. Shot deflected by Beshik. Kicked out in front. Loose puck. Puck straight up in the air. Beshik's got it there. Plays it ahead to Pierce. Pierce forks it out to center ice, where Beshik fires it in from the far blue line. Lincoln controls in their own zone. Lincoln's got it now out through neutral ice into the attacking zone. Gets stood up there by Suk. Puck knocked loose in the corner. Suk will try and take it behind the net. It's cut off there, so he'll work up the far side. Driven into the boards. Steffes has knocked off the puck. Now it's Schwartz. Kicks it ahead to Pierce. Pierce across the blue line. Shot saved by Perry. Now knocked back up. Nolan Kretz has it in front of his own bench. Over there. Fired into the zone. They'll chip it around Sheehy. Cross ice pass. Nico Ruiz gets it ahead to Alex Henkel. Henkel carries it across. Shot saved by Perry. But we were offsides. .9:18 left in the third period. Saints still holding on to a 3-1 lead. Sheehy in for the faceoff with Henkel and Kirk. Dubuque wins. Henkel gets a shot on net, saved by Perry. Work down to the corner. Kirk's got it down there. Henkel puts a big shot in. Kirk's got it off the corner. Back to the point. Shot wide of the net by Ruiz. Kretz works it down. Sheehy's got it on the boards. Big hit there. You've still got a player down. That's Xander Sheehy on the ice. Slowly gets to his feet. Seems to be all right. Refs discussing what happened. Refs discussing what happened or where the faceoff should be. Either rate, this discussion has taken way longer than it should have. Faceoff outside. So we'll get Netherly out with Deutsch and Weiner. Lincoln controls the faceoff, plays it ahead. Weiner's got it there. Back to Kretz. Kretz over to Ruiz. Ruiz chips it into Netherly. Lincoln now on the counter. Sends it back out through center ice. Down to the corner it goes. Deutsch skates over it. Now he'll play it out to Ruiz. Out to center ice it comes. Over to Weiner on the far side. Walks it to the slot. Shot. Loose puck. Kicked away by Perry. Beshin comes in. Dumps it back below the goal line. Netherly knocks it to the far corner. Lincoln bats it back. Netherly back to pick it up. Still battle for below the goal line. Now it's worked up to the far side. Deutsch sends it down. High stick waved off because Lincoln plays the puck. Set the length for an icing. He appears to be all right on the bench. The trainers checked him out. He's scooting around, so good to see he's okay. Schwartz in for the faceoff. Puck's down, drives it forward. Battles for it behind the goal line. Now it squirts over. CJ Mueller battles for it behind the net. Knocked to the corner. Nolan Pierce battles for it there. Now it squirts out. Lincoln will get it out to center ice. Weak dump into the corner. But they'll win the race. Send it through the crease. Mueller on the far side now. Puck chips up. Lincoln with a shot. Wrapped around to the near side. Now it's back to the slot. Sukachov's got it there. Across the red line, he'll go into the attacking zone. Works it down to the corner. Tries to get it to the slot. Nobody home. Pierce has got it behind the net. Tried to work it up the near boards as Lincoln's held in there by Schwartz. Throws it to the middle. Nobody home. Lincoln will bring it back up. Dumped in from the red line. Saved by Stoll. Kicked ahead to Kretz. Kretz has got it back behind the net. Feeds off to Beshin. Beshin back to Kretz. Kretz over to Beshin, and they'll break it out. Beshin off to Kirk. Kirk shot, saved by Perry. And we'll get the whistle. Sheehy in for the faceoff. Henkel at the shooter spot. Lincoln controls. They'll wrap it around back behind the net. Kirk battles for it back behind the net. Lincoln walks it to the corner. Plays it up center ice. Kirk Kretz has got it there. Tries to throw it in just ahead of Kirk. Lincoln knocks it back out. Played that shipper bottom. Now battle for. Sheehy walks away with it. Taken down. Kind of looking for a call there. I think the puck's stuck underneath him. Pops up. Glove down by Lincoln. Out to the blue line it comes. Henkel battles for it there. Off to Kirk. Kirk plays it head to Henkel. Henkel feathered towards Perry. And we're back the other way. Lincoln with some speed across the red line. Takes it into the zone. Knocked off the puck by Ruiz. Shot. Popped up. Saved by Stoll. Now fired back to him. It's a rather unique goaltending strategy, but it worked. Helped the puck. .5:18 left in the third period. We'll get Weiner, Netherly, and Deutsch out. It's like Beshin and Kirk. Beshin and Suk. Beshin knocks it to the ice, plays it to the boards. Lincoln will try and walk down to the corner. Knocked off the puck by Suk. Netherly wraps it around to the near corner. Deutsch plays it back to Netherly. Or that's Kretz. Or Kirk. Now to the far side. Netherly's got it. Back to Suk. Suk behind the net to Beshin. Beshin's got it there off the boards. Up to Weiner. Weiner long pass. Hits the skate of Netherly. Suktoff dumps it in. Works all the way down to the corner. Deutsch dumps it back in. Lincoln will try and bring it out. Held in by Beshin. Fired towards the net. Bouncing puck along the goal line. Out to the far side it comes. Netherly knocks him off the puck, and Weiner picks it up there. Knocked off his stick. Netherly knocks it back down below the goal line. Long cross-ice pass to no one. That's icing. We'll get Pierce, Schwartz, and Jensen Hill. Puck's down, sent towards the net. Perry makes the cover. Do it all again. Clock is still running here at the arena. Still running. Now they've stopped it. Puck's down, back to Kretz at the blue line. He'll fire it down below the goal line. Worked up the near side. Carson's got it there. Out through center ice. Nice back check there by Jensen Hill. A little energy going on here by the infrequently used line. Played all the way back. Nolan Kretz has got it there behind the net. He'll circle back to Ruiz. Ruiz gets it up to Hill. Hill plays it across the red line, dumps it in. Puck behind the net. Perry goes to cover the post. Now Lincoln will try and break it out the far side. Played out to center ice. Stolen there by Ruiz temporarily. We're going to get a call on someone. Looks like on Dubuque on Jensen Hill. 2 minutes for hooking. So Hill, in his first varsity game, manages to get a spot on the score sheet. Not in the spot that we like to see. Sheehy and Deutsch will come out to kill the penalty with Beshin and Suk. 3:06 left in the third period here in Lincoln. Sheehy wins the faceoff back to Suk. Suk takes it around the back of the net. He'll circle back, go back where he came from, wraps it around to the far side, held in there at the blue line by Lincoln. Lincoln now from the point. Rockel's got it. Works it down low. Deutsch knocks him off the puck. Both Saints players go down. No one saw that because the camera's not pointed over there. Shot towards the net. Schwartz loose. Suk wraps it back to the blue line. They'll go D to D back to Rockel again. Shot blocked by Deutsch, out to center ice. He'll be the first one to chase it down. Forces them all the way back behind the net to regroup. Lincoln will bring it out. Long cross ice pass up to center ice. Deutsch is over there again. It's feathered back to the blue line. Shot towards the net. Blocked in front. Beschen wraps it around. Jumps over the stick of Lincoln out to center ice. Lincoln will go D to D at the red line. Into the attacking zone they'll go. Shot blocked. Popped up in the air. Caught by Stoll, and we'll get the whistle. 2:03 now left in the third period. Still a minute on the Jensen Hill penalty. Saints will send out Kirk and Weiner for this last minute of the penalty kill. One back to Beschen, who drilled it directly into the linesman. The linesman is not happy. So Weiner down into the far corner. Centering pass just out of the reach of Kirk. Catches it in wheels and gets a shot. I'm not sure anyone saw. Lincoln now carries it out. Tipped into the zone by Dubuque. Beschen's got it there. He'll take it back behind the net. Throws it up the middle. Weiner's got it. Works through center ice into the attacking zone. It's the break. Shot on Perry. He'll kick it to the corner. Lincoln cycles back behind the net. They'll work it out the far side. Now cross ice pass just in front of the bench. Takes it into the zone. Lincoln right through the slot. Nobody home. Lincoln will dump it back in with 1 minute to go in the period. Hopefully the game. Sheehy picks it up at center ice. Walks it across the blue line. It's knocked off his stick onto the far boards. Kicked out. Shot. Saved by Perry. Up into the net for a whistle. 41 seconds. Referee had some words of advice for the Lincoln player. Shots are 32-23 in favor of the Saints. Timeout, Lincoln. Coach Austin rallies the troops. Expect to see Perry headed to the bench as soon as the Lincoln gets control outside the zone. Lincoln's got it now at center ice. So rolls off their stick. There goes Perry. Puck knocked out to center ice. Kicked ahead. Lincoln's got D to D. Feathers it right to Kirk. Probably not the guy you want to give it to. So open net goal for number 21, Carter Kirkenbush. I hope that the play they drew up didn't say, let's force it back to our defensive zone, make a stupid D-to-D pass, and hope that Kirkenbush isn't in the middle to steal it. Because if that was the play, it worked to perfection. Perry back in net now as the score's 4-1. 21 seconds left in the third and final period. I think he got another assist on that. That's 3 for him today. Sent wide. Deutsch has got it there. Tries to put it around. Lincoln knocks it into the zone. Lincoln will go D to D. 8 seconds left. Don't do anything stupid. Knock the length of the ice down to the corner. Sukachov will muck it there, and that'll do it. Final score from Lincoln, 4-1. One Lincoln player hangs around to congratulate the Saints. We'll line up at center ice here for the good sportsmanship handshake. Saints will be back at it tomorrow, 8:30 JV, 10:30 varsity. Hope to see you then. That's it here for